Amid the smiles and the handshakes at the start of this year's strategic and economic dialogue, an acknowledgement of the ongoing fears and misperceptions on both sides. U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
Some in our country see China's progress as a threat to the United States. Some in China worry that America seeks to constrain China's growth. We reject both those views. We both have much more to gain from cooperation than from conflict. The fact is that a thriving America is good for China, and a thriving China is good for America.
American manufacturers have long complained that China's rapid rise has been subsidized in part by an undervalued currency that gives China a competitive edge, one that U.S. officials say has widened America's trade deficit and cost thousands of U.S. jobs. But it's a claim that Beijing rejects. In his opening remarks, Chinese Vice Premier Wang Qishan noted the complementary nature of both economies. But he also hinted at Beijing's misgivings about U.S. fiscal policy.
We are witnessing profound and complex changes in the world economic landscape, changes that are driven by globalization. At present, we still face many uncertainties when we are striving to tackle global economic recession and sustain economic recovery. Against such a backdrop, economic and social development in China and the United States face both common challenges and opportunities of cooperation.
As America's biggest foreign creditor, China wants assurances that its U.S. holdings are safe, despite the political debate in the U.S. over raising the country's $14 trillion debt ceiling. U.S. Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner, who's been pressuring China to level the playing field for American companies, acknowledged that Washington is doing everything it can to bring the nation's fiscal house in order.
Our challenge in the United States is to strengthen the foundations for future economic growth. And this requires a sustained effort to improve education, to strengthen incentives for innovation and investment, even as we put in place the long-term fiscal reforms that will force us once again to live within our means as a nation.
Both sides are expected to discuss a wide range of economic and foreign policy issues, including intellectual property theft and U.S. arms sales. Equally high on the agenda is China's record on human rights. Vice President Joe Biden.
We have vigorous disagreement in the area of human rights. We've noted our concerns about the recent crackdown in China, including attacks, arrests, and the disappearance of journalists, lawyers, bloggers, and artists. And again, no relationship that's real can be built on a false foundation. Where we disagree, it's important to state it.
Analysts say no major breakthroughs are expected during the two-day meeting, but both sides say the wide-ranging discussions are crucial to the continued relationship between the U.S. and China.